Hello, everybody, and
Artistry.
build, play by Lynn.
Taking full advantage of the multi-classing system
Yes.
we got going on.
And Aaron, who has even more AOs than that, we're not gonna talk about at all. And just say it's our enigmatic Malakim, played by Adrian, who is joining us from Greece. Hello, welcome.
Greece?
Hello.
Goodness. Fun.
Yes. So, what happened last time, gang?
I need to fully read the recap to remind myself. It's been too long.
Well, Aaron was asleep most of the time, so I can't do
that. Not salty at all.
That is a fair point. We had just finished quote-unquote negotiations between Cardinal LeBlanc's agents and Cardinal Lumina's agents. Lumina's people left, and we were left with LeBlanc's people, who started searching us, taking away our items, and generally giving us a hard time.
I almost stabbed Silas over trying to take my pan flute.
That is true, you did. Yeah. We met a few new NPCs. We had the veteran agent Moran, Silas, and Osprey, as well as Medea, Acheron's old partner. We got a whole bunch of rules about what we can and can't do, which we're totally not gonna follow. I can guarantee that.
Please do. Please do. I will punish.
You said you wanted to show off the mechanics. We're just
No.
Do not test me.
Yeah, Titania was forced to write a report to Cardinal LeBlanc, which she wrote very curtly, all things considered, because she's being blackmailed.
Yes. Good old blackmail.
Good old blackmail. Anybody else want to take over, or should I just keep going?
I think it just boiled down to us being like, they're like, hey, don't do anything unless we tell you you can, and us being like, sure, Jan. And then we all got grounded upstairs, and Ginevra went off to go be sneaky again.
I'm gonna go to bed with no dinner. Yeah.
Ginevra was like, can everyone just not listen to me talk again? Let me just go have more secrets.
Yeah, the dude wasn't up for me joining, really. He didn't want me to join, so we had a conversation, and now I'm joining.
Yay! Yeah?
I think
afterwards...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we had a very tense conversation about trust between Titania, Aaron, and Acheron towards the end.
Yeah. Also to point out that Acheron had a talk with Medea. That was where Acheron learned that Medea had bought Acheron's freedom through her own loyalty and work.
A terrible decision, really.
Titania also learns that Osprey is part of the Falcon Project, and really looks down on Titania for having a screw loose in her head for leaving all of that. Yeah, and Aaron had a weird dream about the mountain again before he woke up. And indeed, in the end there, you had a tense conversation about what to do. Acheron used a lot of defeatist language, and Aaron was like, what happened to you?
It's not defeatist, it was accepting.
You used to be cool.
What happened to the person I my admonished for like being so suspicious all the time.
Yeah. And then the whole session ended with Genera sending a message to Titania and to Erin, arguing once more that she's there to help. So hold on, and Erin is not wholly convinced and still wants to be salty.
No. Maybe choosing to take the suspicious mental, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
Someone has to.
Someone has to. Okay, I see how it is. All right, let's bring it in again. Let's do like a little bit of that. And immediately tense, immediately stress. What have we done? A little bit of that. And let's bring it back to the second floor. Boxed in between four walls. That is where Aramin, Titania, and Acheron find themselves this evening. Hours before, you were free. Hunted, for sure, but still free. Now concessions and compromises have been had, necessary to not risk your life, and thus, here you are. With your possessions confiscated, strict rules imposed, and a purpose thrust upon you. The sleeping quarters around you are somewhat clean. The bed sheets have been recently washed, the floors swabbed, no clutter to be seen. Despite this, it's impossible to remove the mark of hundreds of people coming and going. There's a distinct smell in the air. No windows to clear it, and despite the herbal undertone, somebody trying to mask it, the distinct smell of simply human permeates this room. It's not unpleasant, but not wholly comforting either. And under the dim light of these two fixated lanterns attached to the ceiling above you, you huddle together in your friend circle, having just received Genera's 2 messages. What do you want to do?
Unless, because the last thing I had was Aaron got his, so unless Aaron wants to say something, I have.
Yeah, you two saw Aaron kind of become silent and focus on something. Titania
I don't think I know what's happening.
No, I don't think Acheron does, but Titania, I think, puts 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
She never seems to be trying to smooth things over.
What? Is she doing? Is this? Akron turns to Tanya. Is this the thing you can do?
She's trying to send us messages, probably.
Okay.
Discreetly, without their entourage being wholly informed. Though honestly, I wouldn't doubt if they were listening in on every word we say.
Oh, probably. Did you think they weren't going to be?
I don't know.
Well...
It's not like I know very much about these people. Maybe you should enlighten me.
What would you like to know? Exactly.
Well, how are they going to be listening in on us? The door's closed.
I mean, Osprey might have magic of some kind that allows them to do that.
Sort of what I was thinking. Either that, or they'll just put their ear against the door and do it the normal way.
They could just actually listen to the door. If you have any questions about the agents or the church, feel free to ask tonight, as I'm sure under supervision, closer supervision, I'm not sure I'll be able to answer them later. But this is your life too. You deserve to know as much as you can.
I'm not exactly sure what I should be knowing. I've been sensing there's an air of change, whispering, swirling around the winds. Have you been feeling it too?
The wind is the wind, my guy.
Less ominous words, maybe.
I don't really.
It's very hard to explain. I'm really not trying to be metaphorical on purpose. It truly feels like a wind, like a mountain wind. It's cold. It brushes past you without, well, brushes through you. It's just something's different.
I have Bexxy. I have Detect Magic as Soul Mastery now.
Oh.
And when Titania hears Aaron describe that, I think she's gonna try and cast Detect Magic just to see if there's something. Because that doesn't require spell slots or soul points, right? Soul Mastery?
Yeah, I'm just sitting here and thinking. Well, technically, you do need a long rest for the things to kick
level
in.
up.
Oh yeah.
Never mind. If that's the case, yeah, we can wait.
Yeah.
I want to be a little bit flexible about it, but I'm also thinking, like, would you even recognize something on Aaron? Let's find out tomorrow, shall we?
I think Acheron's still reading this as like a really bad attempt at like metaphor, and just kind of, like seems to be really trying to understand what Aaron's trying to say, and just as if you're saying that you've had a sense that something bad is coming. No, I've not noticed that, but then again, when you're born in a house on fire, you tend to think that's what the whole world is like, so.
Understood.
Metaphors. When listen, understanding that life is inherently bad and that bad things happen all the time everywhere, it doesn't really change much when they do, so you don't really look for them.
I see. Well, I can't really attest to that. I have no experience of being raised in a burning house. But I'm just merely voicing it. And if you are all feeling everything is the same as it was yesterday, the day before that, the day before that, then maybe it's just me.
I'm not quite sure what you mean, but I'll try and keep an eye out. I don't know, they take up at my books just when I was about to make a breakthrough.
At least we can get an exceptional night's rest. Not having to worry about things tonight.
I guess that's one way of thinking about it.
Titania, this is the safest we've been in 2 years.
I mean, in my, if you're talking about my personal safety, maybe, but
If they were going to kill us tonight, they would have done it already.
fair enough. I can't help myself from worrying, okay? I don't know what's gonna happen with my aunts or mom or... Sorry.
You worrying about your family?
Yeah.
Do you think that anything has changed with them since coming to the tavern?
I think Irene's gotten that message that Geneva sent. I don't know how she'd react. Maybe she's happy that I'm cooperating. But I don't know if I'm gonna... I don't know how long it's gonna hold, you know?
As someone who's done similar... As someone who's been the person holding the bag, I guess, as far as metaphors go, nothing's going to change immediately. You have to hold up your end of the bargain and fulfill whatever price she sets, and your family remains leverage.
Yeah.
Good news is, she's not likely to hurt them unless it's to punish you. Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Your family's very pious. They're likely to not resist very much. Most likely, I assume, from what you've told me. Which means that they probably won't be hurt. Much more than they already have been.
I don't know how much that puts me at ease, but thanks. Thank you.
I have no idea what you're going through, but it probably sucks. I kind of like awkwardly pat your shoulder.
I think if we're gonna try and take advantage of a good night's rest, now's the time to get to sleep.
Well, what I don't understand is why you don't reveal what you are, Aaron. They're more than likely quite religious, well, quite high in belief. I mean, it's quite literally beaten into them. Well, us, I suppose. They probably try to worship you, almost. Well, I think Mirren is a believer. I'm not sure about Silas and Osprey. Anyway.
I kind of already did.
To them? Wait, when? What?
Well, I don't know exactly what was happening downstairs whilst I was confronted by some very well skilled guard, I suppose. A lot of shiny armor. Seem to have seen a lot of wars and battles. And another small girl behind, hell-bent on twisting my mind to obey her. And I did all I could to, well, sway them. But something tells me that indoctrination goes a lot further than just seeing things. It wouldn't matter.
I'm wondering how well informed they are about your self-described Malakim.
How much do I know?
Because-
I can answer this question.
Hmm?
How much
Oh,
does Akron? I just realized, because, talking about how well informed the agents are, how much does Akron know about the Malakim?
I mean, you
What
have
did we learn
definitely you have definitely studied the light of Geno, the radiance of Geno, I mean. But not extensively like a priest would, of course. It's not like you're having that kind of study, but you would have theology classes that would have lifted up the most essential things, and then probably there could have been a copy or two that you could just go to and read to if you needed it for, moral comfort.
Yes.
Yes, like it would help. But they would think, they want to think it would help. So you know parts of Radiance of Geonor, and you know the gist of it, if that makes sense. They lifted forward these parts that talked about piracy and doing the things for the greater good and things like that, and how those who do hard things in life will be rewarded in the afterlife. 72 virgins and all of that. But I think that you only know the Malakim or the angels in passing. You might have actually read up a little bit upon like the chapters about the describing paradise, because it's supposed to be a little bit of a motivator for you guys. So yeah, these flying, beautiful creatures that upheld the will of Rion and act like messengers to humanity in trying times. Yeah.
Okay.
Heralds,
Because-
messengers, helpers.
Anyways, because depend either about you specifically, Aaron. They're either misinformed or they don't care, and honestly, I think that second one is more likely. Which, not that I wasn't doubting the piety of these people in the first place.
I disagree.
Because
Why do you disagree?
Because Mirren, Silas has, obviously look, you have your real family to worry about. This is as close as I get to having the same thing. Monsters cut from the same cloth kind of an idea, and my experience with them, limited as it has been so far, leads me to believe that Silas is like me, raised in the life, and this is all that he's known, most likely. Mirren, though, I think is a true believer. I think Mirren bought into it more. I don't know how much of that's the religion side or the loyalty side, but Mirren's clear disdain for me as a traitor kind of revealed a deep-seated identity connected with the church. In our training, we are heavily encouraged to adopt the church and its beliefs as our entire foundation for everything. It's the religious side and the loyalty side.
Well, they called me a devil. And if that's what they've been told, that is who I am, and not what I really am. I find it, at least in my experience, exceptionally difficult to change someone's mind who has already made it resolute.
You don't have any way of proving what you are. You just have weird eyes. That's all Rion set you down here with?
No, Rion was not a part of this. And je never saw part of what I am.
Of course you did. What, did you bust out the wings?
Wings?
Yeah, you fuckers are supposed to have wings, aren't you?
I see they teach agents all sort of fairy tales. Is that what you said earlier?
Well, that's incredibly awkward for me, isn't it?
You were brought up in the church and they were saying all of these angels have beautiful wings, and I don't know, that sounds like a lot of references to horses, if I'm honest.
Look, people need something to idealize. Talking about beautiful people with wings living in paradise tend to give something to people something to look up to. I can see why they embellished it, because you're a real disappointment in that area.
Oh, I'm not exactly trying to live up to your expectations, Acheron. They are oh so high.
Look, this is...
I'm here, I don't know why. I have endured more than you could possibly fathom. And it's here and now that everyone seems to be so interested in me.
Is there the potentiality of the Malakim you've described, Aaron, and the Malakim described in the Radiance of Gainor being two different things, then?
I don't know what the Malakim in this Radiance of Gainor is. I haven't read it, I haven't been informed. If you can embellish the stories, I can provide you with some form of concepts, some context, perhaps.
Well, they were the servants of Rion, winged, blessed with radiant power, which seems they were like
beautiful, incredible warriors that to be like
generally
much better than
more
everyone
than
else.
considered more than human. And that might be just mythological embellishment for the sake of propaganda too.
I mean, I think Aaron has an attitude that fits. Akron just with like a slight. It's clear this was an attempt at humor that maybe just didn't go over well.
I don't want to burst any more bubbles that seem to be flying in your heads, but you have to let go of this theory that there was just one deity. There were many. And Rion himself, well, I can attest to that I'm a big fan because ultimately it wasn't that big of a deal.
So what you're proposing is that is that your people, Malakim, are Malakim for a separate deity. Is that your hypothesis, or is that...
The terminology Malakim was only really uttered by those that we fought, those of fiendish nature, those with horns. We didn't call ourselves Malakim. These were terms given to us. We simply served the deity that we were sworn to swear by. It's your perspective is completely distorted. It doesn't work like you are indebted. You choose. And you were brought up on an island, a location. I myself was brought up within the Celestial Conclave. And I do miss it. It was, and this part is, I guess, true, beautiful. There wasn't any suffering or disease. There wasn't any massive amount of pain. But at the same time, there wasn't any utmost frivolity. There was no excessiveness, no drunken pass-outs, no jubilant nature beyond your wildest dreams. You were just perfectly content. Sometimes it was boring. And sometimes you did stray from that perfect contentness, but everything came back to an equilibrium at the end. One could argue that to some that is hell. Some that is the hells of the world where you can never be truly happy nor truly sad. You are just stuck. And some people are fine with being average.
I think Akron has a flash of like it's just a second, but looks like almost like really offended at the like being like not suffering and being content is like an idea of hell. I think it just like it's one of those like true emotions. It's like just for a moment, and everyone like reins it back in very quickly.
For sure.
Tries to pass it off as though it was never.
You were perfectly content, and you say that's hell.
No suffering. How terrible, you know. But like really tries to like lock that back down very fast.
Look, I know this all sounds fantastic and strange, but let's be honest with ourselves here. We're not in that location. We're not there. And if we are here, there has been a massive change of events, and I have seen things that I choose not to remember. And I am confused and lost. Why are you so determined to find out who I am when all I asked, or I've ever asked since I've been here, is to be left alone?
I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm sorry if I gave that impression. Listen, it's before you came along, the only reason I thought Rion was even real is because Titania insisted. Maybe Titania cares. I genuinely don't care. I cannot express in any means available to me how much I don't care if there's one god or 1,000, and how many of his little minions exist, and if they have wings or horns or whatever. It doesn't change my life. And you're just a weird person, Aaron. I don't really think you're that special.
I'm afraid I have the opposite answer, Akron. I mean, you know me. I apologize if this is offensive or intrusive, but you are a primary source to everything I've devoted my research to. I want to treat you with respect because you're a person and a friend, but these stories are what I've been chasing and trying to learn more about, and trying to see the truth behind all of this propaganda and nonsense. I knew, because of my own personal experience, that there were divine powers out there, and that the Rihanna's church wasn't telling the full story. And they were using that secrecy to hold their power and do the terrible things that they did to me and to Acheron. And your stories, I don't know if they seem frivolous or pointless or just an old piece of history to you, but these are the first step to understanding the past is the first step to changing the future. And right now we don't have that. I wish I had my notebook so I could write all this down. God.
What do you want to change the future into? A place where there is more than one god. A place where Rion is not all powerful. What is your ambition?
A place where children aren't turned into weapons, maybe?
A place where people can be free to know the truth. They don't have to live in a world oblivious to terrible things happening to them and their children and their neighbors. And they don't have to ascribe themselves to one ideology where they can be who they want to be.
And what do you want to be?
I want to be the person who records that, who preserves the history, who learns about it.
I will try my best to satisfy that need for you, Titania. But I'm sure you can appreciate dredging up the past isn't exactly something one enjoys sometimes.
I understand. If you're not comfortable answering my questions, take your time.
I'll
We're
let
still
you
chasing
know.
down another lead.
I'll let you know. I'm just more... So, to cap this off, because it feels like it's getting late. What has happened to me in the past, I can share with you if you ask. I don't know what matters to you. I don't know very much in terms of what happened in between then and now, or how long time is, or what happened to me during that period. I will do my best. But there's also things happening now. The church is seeking me, seeking you, and you have that power within you that is pulling from some fiendish location. Something is very clearly, I can feel changing, and I am so concerned that you can't feel it. But maybe you're not meant to.
Well then, before we
What?
all head to bed, this might be the last time I get to say it with less watchful eyes on me. I understand if you hate, well, everyone involved in this, Aaron. Nacho seems to never make sense. Not liking the agents, I wouldn't blame you, but... And it may not make sense to you why I'm defending them, I'm not sure I know myself. I know you're going to be looking for ways to get out of this, to escape, regardless of what I might tell you, so I'm not going to tell you not to, but it's not their fault. They're bad people. They never got a chance to be anything else, so if an opportunity arises for us to get out of this and you can spare them, maybe consider it. If you can. I wouldn't ask you to sacrifice yourself.
I will play along for the time being. It's curious that you say it's not their fault, Patron. One could say the same thing about you, but we have already tried to touch on that.
Yeah. Well, I think
you are right, though. We are somewhat safe in the belly of the beast.
This may not make sense, but I trust them, perhaps more than I trusted even you at the start of this. They'll do what they said they're going to.
I don't know what that is.
Follow the rules and they probably won't kill you.
Understood.
With that, Akron rolls their shoulder, the one that had been injured before, as adrenaline and tiredness of the day wears off, and just because I need to I totally forgot to slip this visual in last time you did this shit, and goes to pulls their shirt aside to check on the where the wound had been healed, and be impressed with how Aaron's healing has affected the process normally, and everyone can see as their back shoulder blade is exposed. So you guys had been able to see the sun tattoo that's at the base of their neck, and exposed on the back of their shoulder is part of what looks like a very large tattoo that covers at least the top half of their back. And Aaron can see, perhaps ironically, 3 dark wings that go top of the shoulder blade, and one heading down the back on the side that have black feathers and what looks like gold kind of running from them at places, as if maybe they're bleeding in some kind of way. It's very clearly part of something, and towards the side, just where the shirt's still on their back, is what looks like the side of a dagger or maybe a scale. It's clear this is only part of a larger image, but that's something you would have been able to see last time you did this, so I was I'm just gonna sneak that in there here.
He has taken note of it. It's just never really the right time.
Yep. So
a little tattoo out before bed.
I think as we're getting ready to sleep, Titania's feeling very lost at the moment. I think she's gonna pray.
Oh! Ooh.
I think she's gonna pray. Yeah, right. She never really had cause to do that before, but I just wanna. Okay. I want to sneak that in there. She's gonna just quietly pray to herself.
All right.
As you're praying, you will hear a voice in your head answer your prayers. You'll hear Ginevra's voice saying, "I'm going to try and get your belongings back tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure it won't all come at once. Can you let me know which things are priority, and I'll work on those first? And any ideas of what I can argue in order to get them back is also appreciated. Otherwise, I'll do my best."
For me, just any of my books would be appreciated. Not entirely sure what you argued to get them back. Because it seems Osprey is very attached to them, but I don't know, dude. Thank you for your help.
I forget. Do you speak out loud when you say these things?
He's kind of whispering.
When you respond to a message?
So you have to say it, but it's only heard by the person who receives the message. So you would be able to see her mouth moving, but you wouldn't be able to hear what she's saying.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's why she was like, "Can you let me know? Like, work out amongst yourselves and let me know what everybody needs."
Yeah.
Wait, did we all hear you? Or
It's
just
a direct response.
It was me. It was me talking to Tia, but asking her to get you guys, so I don't have to just go to each of you. I like to talk amongst yourselves and come up with a
Wow,
list of
I
things
don't
that
get
was
a
gonna-
message.
No message for
Yeah. What? So Titania, before bed, do you guys have anything you want me to ask your neighbor to get? Because I can send a message back.
I don't think she can get any of my shit for me, to be completely honest.
Anything for Aaron to try?
Aaron looks at Titania very sternly when asked the question and says, "The dented golden hair clip."
I'll let her know. And I will send a message to where I assume Ginevra is. It's kind of in a direction out to Ginevra. And let her know. Yeah.
Nothing for Acheron?
I think Acheron, because they're not throwing out our stuff, right? Like they're keeping
they're
it
just
with
holding
them.
on to it, I think.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean,
you can cast a spell through solid objects if you're familiar with the target and know it is beyond the barrier.
I think Acheron's only request would be not to have it back, but to ask Ginevra to ask them to make sure they clean the dagger that had stabbed someone today, because that's bad weapons etiquette, and I don't need my weapon getting dull.
I clean the weapons. Okay, send out.
Yeah, just please clean my dagger. I don't even want it back. I just need to make sure that y'all aren't being slacking and dreadful, and please don't ruin my equipment with your incompetence, you know?
Acheron is so petty.
We're asking for our housekeeping.
No, listen, Acheron, no, because Acheron would definitely, like, if they were willing to throw a knife in here so Acheron could clean it themselves, they would, but they've decided that I'm not allowed to take care of my gear, so now it's their responsibility.
Listen, I need you to take it to dry cleaning, and it cannot be above 40 degrees.
Okay. Long rest or Ginevra?
Yeah, I know, it's time for Ginevra. Ginevra!
Oh no! I wasn't expecting this. I'm just gonna go to sleep. Yes.
Well, I'm just gonna check in with you because it's been an hour and I'm very sorry.
No. It's nice to just listen to people talking. I'm enjoying it.
Same girl. Though I will say, during the night, wherever you may have found yourself a place to sleep, Miron is going to drop off the non-disclosure agreement, the NDA, with you.
Yep.
And expects it to be signed by the morning.
Yep. Yeah, I'll sign it.
All right. Not even taking a cursory glance.
Yeah. Like I'll read it just check if there's anything untoward in there. Other than the NDA.
I love that word.
But I know that I have to sign it anyway.
Make me a investigation with cunning.
Okay.
Why all my token
Plus 4.
stuff's so big?
Ooh.
Oh. Ooh.
Time reading.
Damn. Yeah. You during this time you like pause, send a message or think to yourself as you give them some time to think about it, and then you read a little bit more, and then you pause, send a message while sitting in your room by candlelight. Yeah. Going through this.
That's the reason why there was such a long time between the first messages and the last message, because he dropped off the NDA, and I've been reading it.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
Okay. So it's very formal. is very thorough. It sometimes you have to reread sentences because there's a bunch of like secondary clauses and unnecessarily long and complicated sentences. But it basically states that any information that you disclose in writing or orally about your time with the agents and concerning this whole situation must be first sent to Cardinal LeBlanc's Basilica organization for approval before it can be published. Or you need to get permission before you can say something about it, in voice to somebody. And if you don't do this, your priesthood license will be revoked. All assets that you own are going to be confiscated by Aino Basilica. And you are going to fall under, like, heresy investigation by the church. So the punishment of disclosing information that you haven't been given permission to do in this NDA is very harsh.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Yes.
I'll sign it.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. And then one by one, you all find yourself in a restless sleep. Let's put you there.
Yeah, I was going to move myself into a room, but I wasn't sure if I'd be allowed through the door.
It's okay. You're able to roam free. Oh, those premonition, Titania, is definitely for somebody else than you.
Yep, I was just thinking about that.
You don't want any of that. All right. No, we're just gonna. Let's actually take a break before morning, since we're having a long rest anyway. Let's take the break a little bit early, and come back for the morning.
Yes. Oh, that was such a good scene, you guys.
I can't believe she wasn't there for that conversation. Well, that's probably why there was that conversation. She wasn't there.
But you've never seen her own things.
Yeah, she's seen like a teeny thing. She hasn't got a big old explanation of everything. But it's fine.
I think it's. I just think it's also. I'm sorry, I was like so janky. The tattoo thing at the end. I'm like, I have to slip this. It's so ironic. The Akron has the angel wing tattoo. And there's like an actual Malachim in the room. I was like, I have to put this in there somewhere.
It was good. It was good. Okay, I'm gonna refill. Be right back.
Like that's the thing I remember. I was like, I am a fool, and I was so focused on the Acheron Aaron relationship development of the like healing scene that I totally forgot to be like, oh yeah, Acheron is a bag tattoo, by the way. So
yeah, I guess he would have asked there and then, but I guess you're
yeah, right. That's why I was like, shit, because I knew like if you like
you brought up the whole.
Right.
You brought up the whole like angels with wings kind of thing, and he's like, "Wait, what?"
It's so fun because that was before you told us what you were too, so you would have just been like, "Oh my god, this hoe has angel wings on the back. Who's gonna tell him?"
That's my mom.
You just lean out, whisper, you're like, angels don't have wings, right? Could you imagine?
It's kind of like when you see some white guy have like a Japanese tattoo and he doesn't know what it says. He says, "Oh yeah, it just means strength," and it says like cheeseburger or something. That's basically.
Yeah.
No, that would be like a white person having like Japanese on their body, but they didn't believe Japanese people existed. Like, this is the equivalent.
Oh god.
Like, not because they're a real thing, but because they had been, like, myth. This is like having, like, the Tolkien, like, elvish on you, but elves are actually real and nobody knows about it.
Yeah. Yeah, wait, do you have the water?
That's very funny,
Water?
though.
Do you have the
so
water?
I had to, like, slip that in.
Thank
It is a
you.
very
Sure, slip it in
heretical,
there.
too. It's very heretical.
Acheron's
whole
just
thing.
gonna be like, piece by piece, just like checking out her wounds, just like revealing the big tattoo every time.
I mean, if someone goes, hey, what's on your back? Acheron will, like, strip right there. Like, probably. I don't think Acheron's shy in that respect.
Well, yeah. Well, that would have been an interesting campfire night.
Hey, what's on your body? What? That just completely removes the top. I mean, Acheron has like a...
Surprise, we haven't had a fade to black in this group.
I almost did, and then Ginevra decided to go check out the waterfall.
Basically cock-blocked you. Yeah.
I was so close too! No, that went so well! And then Ginevra's like, oh my god, a waterfall. I'm trying to be gay and sinful here.
But it was trying to save Aaron, okay? She was trying to save Aaron.
I don't care. I was trying to be a gay sinner. Why do I get the short end of the stick?
But being gay in Frostmark is not a sin. What are you talking about? Don't project your own issues into my Frostmark.
No, I was being a gay sinner. Acheron was just being gay. Okay. Listen, just be glad I didn't try to, like, hit on the bride, because I was so tempted.
Yeah.
She was so pretty, though. No, but listen. That art was so pretty. She was so pretty.
All the teenagers of Cedar Falls was unnecessary pretty.
Don't call them teenagers, that makes it weird.
The white dress can only remain white for so long.
I'm just saying. That art was rude to me personally.
Homicide, I do think that Aspen has art of
I do.
Of her back. So perhaps can you post that in the Asians Return chat so Homicide can see?
Yeah. The full thing, or
yeah, the tattoo picture.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I don't know why. Okay, there we go.
I'll mark it spoilers for anyone in the campaign who does want to wait.
Okay, smart.
To see the full
Smart.
thing, if I can figure out how,
Thank
because
you.
I'm stupid.
2 pipes either side.
Defrock, the removal of a priest's right into practice their profession. Oh, so it's to defrock Ginevra then. I didn't know that. Yeah, indeed. Word of the day. Also, I'm super happy to
shift
see you.
/echo.
See all of your questions, Hamo, about Frostmark setting. I'm happy to answer them. I get like, ooh, typey types, clickety
That was
clacks.
a fun thing to read in the chat whilst we were roleplaying. It's like, hey, look, there's the lore questions. We don't know that. I mean, our characters don't know that, but we get to.
Appreciate you. And
Thank you,
everyone else.
Nemo.
Everyone else that's lurking and listening.
Okay. Hopefully we'll mark the whole thing spoiler. If not, I'm stupid. No, it didn't. We stand. Just don't look at it then. You don't want to see the full thing until later.
What?
Don't
Edit
perceive it.
What are we talking about?
Acheron's full back tattoo was posted in chat for those people who wanted to see it. Also, because I can, if anyone wants to see any of the lots of art that I have done of characters in this campaign, I will link my Tumblr as well.
I love my sticker. I just want to point that out.
So there is much more works in progress and a bunch of other character art shenanigans for this campaign and others. I think I have like the full market on the Frostmark hashtag on Tumblr personally.
Just one singular account.
So I actually have, if you're on my Tumblr and you go to the navigate tag or the navigate thing on my Tumblr, I have a Frostmark tag where you can just view everything tagged Frostmark that would be, you know, stuff for this on my Tumblr. So if anyone wants to see my art for this shit, there you go.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Magical.
Magical.
Alright.
Finally got to level up!
Yeah!
Oh, sorry, hold on.
Not quite yet.
It's sorting it
Okay.
out.
Alright.
Oh
Maybe
my
I'll have for us.
goodness.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll get interrupted.
Your throats are all slit in the night.
There's a fire. In the end, I put all the fire on the map. You're gonna have a fire on this.
Okay. Well, anyway, let's go to clean up during the night. So for anyone who has lost HP, I'm not gonna call out who it is, who wants to heal with a
I
long
wonder
rest.
who that is.
Who can it be?
Oh my god.
It's hard to guess.
Remember that your half your HD is refilled first, and then you spend HT to heal. And since it's a long rest, you don't need a use of a medical kit or a herbalism kit. It just happens. So
Okay, I'm rolling all the things.
yeah, I need to do the same thing for Medea, because Medea also got hurt. Hurt.
Shit. What did I
Medea.
roll last time? I gotta find what I apparently did not save my sheet from when we leveled up, so my health reset. And I don't remember what it was, because I'm a fool.
I'm a fool. Okay. Well, I will be rolling.
Should I just re-roll it, or should I try to find what it was?
Reroll it if
My-
you're not sure.
Okay.
Tanya is undamaged, so we're good. 37
No, I
hit
do
points.
remember what it was. Never mind.
Ooh.
Okay, I need to roll one more, I think.
I do.
Yeah, that's gonna be enough. It's gonna be enough. We have 2 left. Okay.
How do we know
Damn.
how many health dice we're supposed to have?
It's on your character sheet. Beside, you have that longer rectangle with first you got your HP, then you got your temp HP, and then you got your HD on your character sheet. See, health
You add
dice.
your vitality as well, right?
Yes.
No, the stuff that we rolled to get hit points back. How do we know how many of those we're supposed to have? Because I didn't fill that out because I am so
It
smart.
should-
Okay, well,
Oh, it should be 4 total, 1 for each of your levels.
yes. And
Okay.
depends upon which level you took. With your discipline, you get 1d12, and with your finesse, you get a 1d10.
Yeah.
So it depends upon how many you have of each, and you always roll the highest first, and the lower later.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And then every long rest, you regain half of your total HD.
Okay.
Yes.
Aaron
Okay.
had a heckin' sleep.
Yes, I can see that. That's for sure. Okay. So, you recover all your stuff. You gain some more things. You have higher HP than you had before. Magical. And you might also have some
Yes.
more tricks up your sleeves.
Got it.
Yeah.
Spells. Yes.
Yes. Spells. Say it like that. I love it.
Important spells.
Spells.
I just hit people good now.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Everyone else got spells. I just hit people better.
All right, and morning comes, and you're all awakened. I wouldn't say rudely, but strictly so. Rather early in the morning. It's a little bit too early for you to be happy about it.
It's a mood.
Do you agree to be waking up? All
Yeah,
of you?
Titania will get up and just,
Yep.
like, normal routine
Mm-hmm.
for traveling.
Yeah, Aaron is usually awake early anyway, so it's kind of
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
easy going.
this party has a lot of early risers actually.
That's for
Yeah.
sure. That's actually true. Oh my god, I have so many people to put
We're
out.
used to it.
One second.
Yeah, Patron gets up.
Mm-hmm.
Are they like getting us out of the room, or are they just like, don't be asleep? Like, what is the
Yeah,
what type of
yeah,
waking
are
up
we
are we
Yes.
doing?
Brought downstairs, like food
I
ready.
mean,
That kind of thing.
Ginevra isn't hurted. You're allowed to, wake up at your own speed and go down to the breakfast table when you
I'll
want
end
to.
up waking up early anyway because I'll do my morning prayers.
For sure. But the rest of you are like pushed into the bathrooms. They ask Acheron which one you want to go into.
Patron will pick whichever one. Oh, I guess I was gonna be like, whichever one doesn't have the other two in it, but then I realized there's one person. I guess Akron will pick the one with Titania instead of the
okay.
one with Aaron because besties, lol.
Lol.
The
We share bathrooms in this household.
apartment only has one bathroom. Like,
Yeah.
no way they can
No,
afford
yeah.
a bigger apartment.
We're a family, and that means we share the bathroom.
Right. So is Ginevra the first one downstairs, or she is a little bit later downstairs?
Yeah, I guess if I'm waking up like at dawn,
Mhm,
it's whether how early they're getting woken up. Are they getting woken up as early as dawn or a little bit later?
A little bit later than dawn, that's for sure. But you
Okay,
do
then
hear the kitchen starting when
Yeah.
you wake up.
Okay. I'll come down. Just to be, I guess, getting a lay of the land and seeing who's already down. If anyone's awake, anyone else doing prayers or anything?
At this group, no, nobody's doing any morning prayers. That's for sure. But you do see Osprey and Medea is sitting by a table and already munching on some food. They're not really
Okay.
talking to each other. And you got Svetlana and Janika over here talking a little bit hush with each other, looking a little bit worried behind the bar, and there seems to be activity in the kitchen. Yes. That's
I guess I'll go over to Svetlana and Janika because they're like the people who work here, right? Like Svetlana owns it, and I'll kind of just give them a kind smile, ask them how their morning is going, how are they holding up, and kind of compliment their establishment and how good a night's sleep I had, just try and make them feel a bit more comfortable about the situation.
Oh, that's very nice, actually. They seem to appreciate your presence and your encouragement. They have been a little bit worried about everything that has been going on. You see that both of them are both of them have a backbone. Seem to be strong natured, but when all the adrenaline of yesterday kind of wore off, both of them are looking rather haggard.
I'll ask them if they've had the chance to eat yet, and that they should grab something if not, and look after themselves because it'll be a little while before the rest will be awake, that kind of thing.
Solana said that they were able to have some snacks in their rooms as they had a like a company group meeting yesterday night when they were corralled, upstairs. When they were told to go upstairs, they just sat down and like, okay, how did the things go? Jesus Christ, what just happened? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Gaynor, how did this go? But yeah, they appreciate and you being there and like calming them, because all of these guys are agents, or soldiers. Yeah. So having like a priest come down and talk to them and say that everything is as it should be makes them a little bit more.
Reassure them that they've done very well, like it's all okay.
They haven't done anything wrong. Yeah. For sure. And Iskar comes out the door over here with like a plate full of eggs and sausage. Oh, there you are, pieces. For you? Yes? Hungry?
Oh, yes. Just eggs would be great. Thank you.
Oh, so it's I see. Well, I know that some people come here to just order goat cheese in general, but I see. Okay, 1 second. Some bell peppers as well, perhaps?
Oh, yes, sure. That sounds great. Thank you.
She goes in to fix another plate. Breakfast ale?
No, I think I'll just stick with water. Thank you.
I know. Okay.
And
at
then
that
I
point,
guess I'll probably head to the table that the others were at.
Okay. All right.
I imagine I'll bring the food.
Sit down. Osprey gives you like a cursory glance of your priest. I'm not interested. Medea nods, respectful.
I'll nod back.
I hope you had a great sleep, priestess.
Yes. It was quite sound, quite peaceful. How did you sleep?
It could have been better. That's for sure. But
maybe a little cold.
Yes. Well, doesn't bother me too much. I'm happy that you decided to join us. It encouraged me a little bit.
I'm happy you decided to come here.
It was not really up to me, but if it were, I would have.
That is reassuring. I think even if you didn't have a choice, you're on a Rion's path, so you can't go far wrong.
You really think so? Can you
I do.
notice this grace around me or something?
Something like that.
I really hope you're right.
Just hang in there. It's not an easy road, but it's a rewarding one in the end. If you can stick with it.
I hope I do this time. I didn't know that it would be so lonely and dark on the other side.
The other side?
Death. There's a really pain expression on her face, and she loses the appetite, and she gives you a hasty smile of apology and says, I need some air. And she leaves the table, and as she goes past into the corridor here, you three head down the stairs, and there's like an awkward meeting of Medea and Acheron's eyes. And then...
Akron just like stops on the stairs for a minute. Very deer in the headlights.
Yes. And Medea like quickly turns her head around and rushes out. Well, not rushes, but quickly goes out the door.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, as soon as she disappears from view, Akron lets out like a like almost relief, it seems.
Oh, sad.
Aaron will like bump his shoulder into Acheron as he walks down past her in a kind of like, you know, get your shit together kind of way, like.
So Moran's sitting here. Titania.
Yeah, he seems to be having like tea by the fire. He seems to have been up for a while, out in the morning dew. Seems to be warming up a little bit by the fire.
I think seeing him, Titania will approach. Mind if I join you this morning?
That's fine.
Should take the other seat.
You should probably go and get yourself some food in the kitchen, Miss Canalux, first.
I wanted to ask about our plan for this morning as a first priority.
Alright, fair.
Since you're leading the charge, I want to know what we're doing.
I am in charge of security and of the rules that I set up yesterday, Miss Canalux. But you are in charge of the research of this mission. And from I heard yesterday, you still want to go to the mountain, or to the valley, investigate this particular location, so...
Absolutely, yes.
In that sense, you are the one in charge.
Oh.
Little Falcon.
That's reassuring. I was under the impression that we were going to be let around, but that's actually very reassuring.
Well, either you go and do something useful for Cardinal LeBlanc here, or you return to Aino as your two options.
I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. If this job is of interest to the Cardinal, then great. I can actually not abandon this mission and disappoint the Queen of Oldwood, right?
We wouldn't want to have that.
Of course not. Your rules seemed quite strict when you spoke of them yesterday, but thanks for giving me at least a small bit of authority.
It's my rules. Given to me.
Fair enough. I guess we'll just keep on the path then. Thank you for being so diligent in your security, if you'll excuse me.
I want you to know, Miss Canalux,
Oh.
that trust is earned.
And the same goes to you.
He nods, goes back to the fire, like leans up his toe really close to the fire, and like,
As the others kind of go past, like I'll gesture to the open kind of table next to her if they wish to sit there, just showing that it's open.
Yeah.
I think Titania will join you down here. Yeah. Hey, I guess where Medea was sitting earlier.
Akron does any healthy breakfast option, not picky, just decent body fuel, and then
There's oatmeal there with some nuts and dried fruit.
Nope. Yep, that one. Akron's response. That's just. Could you imagine?
Dope.
No, Akron doesn't say anything. Akron just walks up, asks for like a healthy option. When that's offered, we'll just nod, like flatly, pick it up, and we'll walk directly past Ginevra, stop kind of here, shoot a dirty look at Osprey, and then go sit on the stairs.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, Akron. Titania will kind of like reach a hand out at Akron, but just let them pass. And say, I'll take a serving as well, please. Does she spy her books anywhere?
As actually Titania sits down, and Osprey is like eating a toast, her mouth just full of butter and bread. She nods to you and just nonchalantly leans down into a backpack that she has leaning against to share, brings up a couple of books and notes, and just slams them on the table and pushes this towards you, and then continues eating.
Kind of you. I was certainly expecting so much less. Thank you. She wants to flip through it and just make sure everything's still in place.
Well, without these, you are completely useless. So.
I find that a little bit rude, but my talents are focused around this, so she continues to flip through, make sure everything is in place. Is there anything out of place?
Yeah. It's not all your books.
It's not all. Oh, it's not hers.
Some books are not in this pile. Your spell book is here, and most of your notebooks. And when I say most of your notebooks, is that some pages have been ripped out.
Yeah.
So you have been given back the books that were considered, not an affront to the church. And you're not well, you do have perfect memory now. So yeah, so any page that spoke of something interesting that is of interest for the church for various reasons of we don't want this to circulate, or B, we want to look at this ourselves, is gone.
Gotcha. Oh, I had a copy of my anti-imperialism essay in one of these. That's a shame. Okay. She'll just quietly begin writing some additional stuff in the spell book. She's gotta inscribe her new spells.
Woo! That actually earns you some looks by Osprey, trying to play it off, but a few glances here and there. Okay. Iskra looks over to you, to Aaron. Sir, breakfast? Anything? It's
Ale.
paid for. Ale! Well, I like that strong start of the day. And she just walks over, over here to the things, and then immediately puts some breakfast ale on the table. It's more of a spicy, little bit lower alcohol content, but filling and warming nonetheless.
He's going to take it and walk over to the window that I guess Ginevra broke, but he would know that Ginevra broke it.
Yeah, here.
And he wants to try and catch a glimpse of Zelia.
Yeah. It's right over here.
I tied her up just a little bit.
Yeah. But there's no Zelia over there, though. In the window, can't see her. Miron immediately puts his feet down when he notices that Aaron is approaching, like, oh, hello, and stands up to regard him. He nods.
Aaron doesn't pay a huge amount of attention to him. He's like sipping his warm ale, and I suppose priorities. Like he's always taking care of her in the morning, so it's the first morning he's not been had the opportunity to. So muscle memory and all. He's gonna see if he can see her, but as he's standing there looking at it out the window, and Meulen is there, he says, "Which is it against the rules to go outside?"
It is. I must inquire. The white horse with the temperament is yours?
I tend to call it personality, but yes.
Are you attached to this horse, or can we sell her? Can you bring her under control? She seems to be well trained. She seems to be a warhorse from what I can tell. So it would be a shame. But it was a bit of a struggle to make her agree to being taken care of this morning. Have you done some kind of devil magic on her?
And what would devil magic look like?
You tell me. It's the first time I meet whatever you are.
And did they usually tell you in wherever it was that you were trained that devil magic is applicable to riding a horse?
They told us to be prepared for anything and everything.
I was gonna go, boo!
His facial features remain stoic and calm, but you see his hand immediately snapped to his dagger.
Aaron puts the drink up to his lips again and like kind of half laughs into it as he takes a sip. We have a long journey ahead of us. I can control her, of course.
That was against the rule, by the way. Don't give me a reason to distrust you. More than what I already have.
Aaron continues to stare out the window. Nothing. Drinking his ale.
So Akron was watching this with much disapproval.
Yeah.
Up the stairs. And like as soon as the boo thing happens, you just hear like another soul leaving their body exasperation level sigh. Like very audible. And yeah, they just they put the breakfast down, kind of like give that moment of, I really don't want to stand up, but I gotta go sort this, and get up and walk. I don't actually think they put themselves in that position. That's a little too closed off. No, but actually, this way, in case one of them tries something, yeah, Akron will put themselves there. Okay. And we'll, walk up. It's too close to Marin. I don't like that. Close enough. Like, Akron trying to be close enough that if one of them decides to do a stupid, Akron can, jump in there, but also, not so close that Marin's this is a threat. You're threatening me by standing here. So, somewhere in that area. We'll walk up. Shoot Aaron the most, withering disapproval glare.
Okay.
Be to Mirren, we'll say, he's a bit of a dick, but he's harmless.
Does he even have one?
I mean, I haven't looked, but feel free to knock yourself out.
I'm sure there are some falcon. I would love that.
Ask the queen.
I mean, I can't make that joke. Wait. Can't make that one either. I'm just gonna skip past the jokes.
Anyway,
Yakra will just does he have taken the, I don't know, knock yourself out response, be like, look, I'm sure he won't do that again. Right, Aaron? Staring like straight up at you into your eyes.
Aaron does a sip and quick look down, and then like back out to the window, through the window. And doesn't say anything then.
anyway, the horse. Control? No?
Of course, if you permit me to tend to her, if we are to travel, I will be able to keep her under control. She and I have been through a lot.
Well, you will not be riding her. That's for sure. You think she will accept any other rider?
That you'll have to ask her.
Where did you get her? She's exceptionally well trained and intelligent. There must be some very prestigious breeding. Where did you steal her?
That like laughter's in character. Just a little throat clearing to cover the giggle.
Okay, I see. He gives you a little bit of a look.
Aaron tenses his lips as he claims that he stole her, and says to Meulen, I thought the church knew everything.
I don't think Aaron could steal something if his life depended on it.
He's gonna like turn and like obviously bump into her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, them, and he's gonna just like on the stairs, just almost walk through them as he makes that comment, and take a sit on the stair, I guess.
On the naughty step.
Akron will consider this a victory of keeping those two separate.
But you did notice, Aaron, that Meulen seems to have some passing knowledge about horses, at least. Okay, so, and then Meulen's eyes turns towards Acheron. Aaron is what you call him.
That's what he calls himself.
Noted. You better get some food.
I planned to. I simply thought that mediation might be helpful. Aaron can be difficult at first.
Oh, the devil spawn being difficult. Ooh.
I mean, antagonization isn't exactly the most, what did you say yesterday? Diplomatic response, but...
Okay, noted. And for what it's worth, I appreciate it.
Well, I thought about what you said and you're right. We don't have to like each other, but perhaps diplomacy is the best way through this. So, should you desire any information on Aaron or what we've been up to or anything like that, I'm at your command.
Between agents, to be honest with you, I always hated to end such brilliant potential. From what I've heard, anyone who enters the Falcon Project is brilliant on their own. You had a skyrocketing career and probably would have gone far. And, well, seems like Cardinal Blanc think that this Aaron has something important to tell her. I don't want to kill you. But I will.
Well, I can say the same thing to you. So let's agree not to kill each other and move on from there.
As long as you do not break the rules.
I'd never be a rule breaker. Not in my training.
You better start now, Corey.
Ugh. You have to call me that?
You know, it was like lesson 3 we had in agent training. Unsettle your opponent, remember?
I remember.
Good.
I remember all of it. But also, wasn't there that part that was like some part of the classes on, I don't know, manipulating people that talked about how the diplomatic approach involved making people like you? I mean, I was never really good at that class, but I don't think bringing up shitty memories was part of that.
It was perhaps a part of the group where you try to establish a baseline of shared experience with each other.
Oh, we want to talk about shared experience? Really?
I think we have plenty.
Oh, undoubtedly. I mean, well, if you want to overlap shared experience and unnerving each other, how'd you enter the program? Did your parents in the ground 6 feet under somewhere, or did mommy and daddy just not want you?
He's actually a little bit like, whoa. Whoa. I mean, okay.
So that diplomacy lasted all but 2 seconds.
Hey.
You started it.
Oh my god, this group.
Akron will just give like a little smile at like clearly having like actually made a dent in something, and then like we'll give like a very disarming smile. Like I said, I'd rather us be friends than like that.
Have your oatmeal. I need to go and see if I can get this horse under control. I swear, probably 600 or something like that on the market. And by the way, 7 siblings, really poor fisher family. I was basically sold.
That's really rough. My parents fucking died. Akron just say that and go back to food.
Alright. Woo!
Bondi.
My meal.
No.
And seeing him leave, I'll follow, but we can move to someone else first.
Oh. Who wants to talk and do something? No.
I'm leading. I'm good.
Okay. Then you follow out.
Yeah.
Kind of meet there in the hallway. You hear somebody
Is he
approaching.
there?
Immediately stops and turns around to see who it is.
Wait, where is he? I can't. There's so many things on this map.
Oh,
Did
this
I
is
go-
Miron.
Did I go too far? Oh, it's all black for me. I can't. Oh,
Oh.
he was hidden in like some random. There's like a random black spot here.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Lol. Okay. Here you go. You see him now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I can see him now.
Why is it- Right. There we go.
I see. No worries, just me. How did you sleep?
fairly well. Considering everything, do you have the contract?
Yes, here. And
He
and
looks it over quickly,
see.
sees your signatures are in the correct place, and then hides the NDA away in his clothing.
And I notice you've already had the pleasure of making acquaintance with the rest of the group. Properly, I imagine introductions have somewhat been made.
Yes, part of the job, but if you have any further information that I should know, that would be helpful.
Well, I think, as you've already seen, Aaron, as named, can be difficult. But also...
You mean the devil spawn is difficult? Oh, I would never. No, he doesn't say that. I'm sorry, I just had to. Yes.
But also quite simple.
He
Not
seems
stupid, but
he seems pride.
just...
He seems to have a lot of pride. How's he taking all of this?
I think you've seen, maybe not too well. But in that simplicity, I think simple means could placate him to make this whole process a lot smoother. Harmless means as well. There's a little clip, golden dented, seems to mean a lot to him. I think it was taken when their belongings were taken. I think if he had that back, it would do a lot to keep his temper in place for this whole process. Can't hurt.
I see. I will let Silas and Osprey take a look at it before I make any decisions.
Good idea. And will you be carrying the rest of their weapons and belongings with you? Amongst yourselves as we go forward?
There might be unknown dangers. The Ravenmoor territory is rather cutthroat.
As I've heard.
The mountains can be dangerous in their own regard. Just in case, they will travel with us, but will be available when the situation requires it.
That was all I was going to ask. I'm glad that you're already far ahead.
It's part of the job.
I'm used to working relatively alone as a missionary, but I've got to say it's quite nice to be working with people so competent and in ways I'm not used to. And I guess I'll take a look at his weapon and clearly his demeanor as an agent. I'm sure I could learn a lot from you.
I see you. His features become a little bit more gentle, and he only answers with a nod. And then he says, "Make sure you eat. I will make sure that everything is ready."
Thank you.
And then he heads outside.
And so there are two people in the thingy-majiggy, this little thing, right?
Yeah, there's two. Now they have removed their woodland garb that they were hiding underneath, and now they are properly. There are two Sacred Arm soldiers standing right here, and another soldier in the other end of the hallway.
Okay. So facing. Okay. So, is he blocking the doorway for me to be able to get through?
No, kind of like standing like a little bit on the side like that. So no issue.
Okay. Is he looking at me?
He's more like
Or is he facing into the room?
He's facing into the
Like,
room.
The main room.
Yeah.
Okay.
These guys are looking at you.
Yeah. Okay. So if I turn away and I like scratch my head a bit, would it still be enough for my thing to light up if I cast the spell?
You would have to make a subterfuge check. I would
Okay.
say, but the DC wouldn't be necessarily that hard.
Okay.
Since it's rather low lit in there.
Okay. I'll have a go at it.
Okay. Subterfuge with cunning. Woo!
Subterfuge cunning. Ooh,
Right.
I might use my advantage on it.
Your inspiration?
Yeah, inspiration. Yeah, there you go.
All right. No. Yeah. They don't say anything.
Okay, so I'll cast message to Medea, who I know is outside.
Oh.
And say you were given a second chance. Don't let it become loneliness again. That's it.
There's no answer, but there's just audible confusion. From outside, you can hear Miran shout, "Osprey, need you!" Osprey sighs, takes her like tea in her hand, and like, duty calls. Excuse me, why am I so popular? Can't they do anything on their own? I mean, come on. Can't they bother anyone else?
The glare tracks Osprey. Like, as soon as she stands up, Akron, like, watches that, like, the entire movement. And it's just, like, a clear glare. The disrespectful distaste is, like, absolutely not hidden at all.
Yeah.
Akron doesn't make the attempt to, like, even look like they don't absolutely
It's
dislike
returned in kind, as acidic of a gaze.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
then, like, as soon as they're gone, Akron just goes back to casually eating as if that had never happened.
I might have asked this last session, but how old does Osprey look? Can I get a good read on them?
Yeah, I did
Can
say
we get ages for the agents? How old they look?
Yeah.
upper teenager for Osprey.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering
So-
if Titania would refer to them as kid or not in
Yeah.
this next conversation.
18 to 22, perhaps, for Osprey.
Okay.
And let's see, Medea. I mean, you know, around your age. Akron.
I mean, Akron looks somewhere in their mid-20s. And, you know, Titania would know that they have placed their age theoretically somewhere between 24 and 26.
All right. Yeah. Somewhere
So,
around there.
yeah.
And Miron seems to be a rather healthy and athletic, like 35 to 45 range.
It's so impressive. Good job, man.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, especially in this job.
No, like, as an agent, like,
Yeah.
like, good job, dude. You survived a long-ass time.
Yeah, for sure. And he has entered into that age where it's a little bit hard to tell if they're like a old-looking 35-year-old or a young-looking 45-year-old. So, yeah, somewhere.
There's a whole decade between those two.
Yeah, it's not still blur together.
I mean, my dad started getting white hair when he was 40, so, you know.
My grandma got white hair when she was 20.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes. And Silas seems to be a bit older than Medea and Acheron, but not much. Seems to be around 30.
Yeah, as Osprey leaves with that bit of dialogue, Titania will just turn to Ginevra and say, I don't think that kid ever got rid of the nobility mannerisms.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even tell if they were taught etiquette, honestly.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like maybe they went to all the nobility lessons except etiquette.
You say
Might
this
have
as
done.
though they don't. I'm assuming this is loud enough for like us to hear you.
Oh yeah, this isn't
Yeah.
secretive.
You say this as though being part of a special program where you're taught that you're superior to everyone else wouldn't make you like that regardless, even if you did start in, what do you think she is, the warmth, the shining, somewhere around there?
I think didn't they imply they were around my status? Something like that. Minor house.
I think it was something about rich families and being a plaything, but honestly, you nobles all look the same to me. Akron,
That's true.
like, say jokingly.
Tia didn't turn out like that though.
Tia was more richer than they were.
I had a unique upbringing in the first place, and superiority was not something I was taught.
Maybe torture is good for the soul. I mean, that's what they tell us, isn't it?
Honestly, even just out of spite, I don't want to think that's true.
Which part, that they tell us that, or that it's good for the soul?
The fact that they tell us it's good for the soul, I don't believe that out of spite, but also I don't believe it in the first place.
I don't know about being good for the soul, but I think it's good to build character. Hardship. How do you grow without being challenged?
No, I meant actual torture. I meant like actual torture.
No, we're agreeing.
Yeah, I think we weren't.
No, we're speaking literally.
You can hear heavy footsteps coming through the hallway. Several people are going, stomping through the stone.
So, do we just hold the path and keep doing what we're doing, just with the new friends by our side?
And then
yes,
Miron peeks his head out with Silas and Medea at his side. And he looks at all of you and says, well, except for Ginevra, stop what you're doing. Now. Down on your knees, hands up in the air. If you would.
Yep, Akron sighs but does it.
Yeah, Titania will look a little confused, but accommodate.
Ginevra's looking at Aaron.
Titania will just push her books on the table over to Ginevra.
Yeah, I'll keep
Aaron looks a little confused about their change of demeanor so quickly, but I guess you'll be the last to kneel down and disparagingly put his hands up.
Silas takes up like a point behind you guys, crossbow ready. Medea does the same thing from the stairs. Miron just regards you all three. If there were any gentleness in his face before, now it's just set in this rather stern, neutral position. What's the deal with the sword? You think you can pull something like this and I wouldn't know?
No, I'm genuinely curious. Which sword?
We only have one sword.
The Devil Spawn sword. We took him off his body. It has a weird blue gemstone.
What's wrong with it?
It's missing, Priestess Ginevra. And I don't like this one bit.
You broke Aaron's sword?
Oh, where did you put my sword? Did
Along
you look where you last put it?
I will be very careful with what tone you are using to me in this very moment, because I hold your life literally in my hand. And if I decide you are not worth it, then your story ends right here.
I'm not trying to push your buttons, Mirren, but you saw that we were escorted out of our room. We were guarded all night. And we have been here in the breakfast room in front of you. At what point do you reckon any sort of foul play could have happened?
Make me a persuasion.
Can I help with that?
Whilst this roll is happening,
Mhm.
can I just ask a question? So, when you have soul mastery on a spell, it still takes the verbal and somatic components, right, and all that.
Yeah. The
Okay, just
thing
checking.
is, it doesn't require soul mark, doesn't require soul, so
Yeah.
there's no soul check, and there's no soul mark that becomes a lich. Instead, there's just a little bit of a shine for your eyes.
I'll ask Moran after. I guess after this resolves, we'll see. Because I have something I want to try.
Yeah, I was going to ask if I could help him with that by saying, your suspicions are understandable, Meulen, but he does speak true. I don't know when there could be a time with all of your men keeping watch on everything happening here that any of them would have been able to get out.
As you know, Priestess Geneva, there are powers in this world that goes beyond the mere power of a normal mortal man. There's a devil spawn among us, and a falcon. Where is the sword?
It was clearly taken by the other group.
We logged all of the belongings before we stashed them. The sword was stashed. I trust my people. I don't trust you. Simple equation. Now either you tell me where it is, or I will be forced to act.
This is Titani speaking out loud. Does Osprey know how to detect magic?
She has the capability of seeing trace magical powers on items. Yes, I don't know how to explain this in a way that would be less meta. We were.
Have you used that to scan the area? I assume the sword is magical, right?
Yeah, is the rock magic?
Is it magical?
Is it?
It's the blue gem.
Yeah.
I found the blue gem. It's a gem. I found it in the dirt. It looked nice to me.
Wait.
The sword is just a blade I took off a bandit that I once ended.
Is he lying?
Nothing special.
Do you believe
Roll
him?
an empathy composure.
Can I as well?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I don't believe you.
I believe him. I don't. I want to know what Moran knows about this sword and why it's important, or the gem rather.
Wow, that's a big number.
One second. Let me get to the
Big
thing.
I'm looking at you. I see through your soul, into your past.
So, Aaron, how goes it? What up, mate?
Being truthful.
Oh,
There's
shit.
no lies here. Aaron doesn't lie very well, so.
That's a nice ass sword to get off a bandit. kind of bandits are you
Yeah.
fighting?
No. The gem was separate. The sword is pretty nondescript. It's a bastard sword. It just looks
Okay.
fancier because he paid a blacksmith to embed the gem into the pommel. That's it. It doesn't look anything magical. There's no fancy runes on it. It looks as if some
Completely ordinary.
guy made it.
I'll look at Moran and say, I hope you understand that not only my life is at stake, but also the life of my brother and mother, as well as probably my entire family when I say this. What is the importance of the gem? I genuinely don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know either.
Then
Have you
why
tried using
What?
detecting magic? It may still be worth it.
I had no idea that it was. Osprey!
It may not be, but it's worth a try if you're not
Akron
sure where it
looks
is.
so confused.
Yeah, I'm...
Akron looks absolutely bewildered by everything that's going on right now.
Osprey, she, peeks in her head. What is it now? You wanted me to do the thing on the brooch? Like, I needed to do it again. Why? I don't like wasting my magic like this. There's a frustration on his face, a deadpan
I'll
look
give her a look. Like, seriously?
of
This is your
you
job?
are going to do this now. And she sighs and steps over here. She starts, waving her hands in the air, saying a few Coptic words that Titania,
Yep.
a light coming from the upper chest area underneath the scarf they have around their neck, and she will cast Detect Magic. Indeed. I need to do a soul check as well.
And Akron was completely safe.
And the sword
Did you
is
take his-
into Tanya's robe. I don't know.
God, I wish.
It's a bit of a...
Could you imagine
Never
the
swept
skill?
it's a bit
Imagine
of
the
a
skill
curse.
if Akron stole that and nobody knew.
This episode 1.
It's a bit of a curse coming from Osprey, as you see a red little globule of light flicker out of her hand.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
Fucking
Oh,
hell.
that's great.
I guess that's what we have the kitchen staff for.
Oh my god!
Oh, it was so good.
Okay. Sense the presence of magic within 6 meters. Feign aura,
You can
School of
like,
Magic,
walk
if
with it
any.
too.
Yeah. 10 minutes, right? Or is it different?
I think it's 10 minutes.
Okay.
Let me check, actually. I don't have it pulled up.
She seems rather bored, looking
10 minutes long.
around, not really noticing anything, because I don't think you have any magical items or anything magical on you now.
Other
No,
than the
there's-
book, which would be on the table.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Feign aura on the book. That's true. And she
Nothing
seems rather
upstairs?
bored with it. 6 meter. I mean, just right above her. No.
Maybe it's worth checking upstairs. I don't know how it works.
She nods and turns to Miron and says, I think I should do a little bit of a sweep since we want to be thorough about it anyway. I guess when I wasted one, then better be, use it all that I can. And she stops in her tracks and her head swivel over towards Aaron again, and like she narrows her eyes. She takes a step closer. Then she shoves Acheron away.
Cool.
I'm like, roughly, get out of my way. To step face to face with Aaron. And they are not tall. They're not tall at all. We're talking about perhaps 165 or something like that. Aaron went on his
I'm kind
knee.
of on my knees anyway.
Yeah, so you kind of head height when you are on your knees. So it's more of a stare into their eyes, and it's a heavy forward brow, and this intense focus as she looks into your eyes, not really unnerved by your strange eyes, just focused on her task. And she brings up a hand that kind of traces the outline of your face and then down to your chest and like hovers like centimeters away from it but not touching. There's something here. Something within here. I don't... A little bit of transmutation, a little bit of conjuration. It's like you swallowed something.
Excuse me?
You have trace magic in your chest. Devil? What is it? I want to know. How does this work? Meulen comes over and shoves her away. This could be dangerous. Osprey, take a step back. I don't want you to be that close. And Meulen takes out a dagger and like points it towards Aaron's chest. What is this?
In truth, I don't know what you're talking about. If you want me to doff my armor, I am happy to.
Now,
Isn't he a devil? Like, I don't know if you forgot, but... Everyone, like, says, like, under their breath, like, out loud.
You might have to help me with this buckle. It sometimes sticks.
you never...
Are you
What the hell
looking
with the
at me?
buckle again?
I was like, I think he's asking him.
Asking Moran.
I'm asking Mir.
They're seducing everyone with this buckle. What is this?
That's my job.
That's how we got to the queen, huh?
It's my buckle!
Yeah.
Clearly,
he,
Jennifer's not that special.
he mentions only with
Yeah,
his
she's not.
his hand to the soldier over here that kind of climb up and helps Aaron from behind. A little bit scared, a little bit of a trembly hand, but that's what they're told.
Poor guy.
Helps to take off the breastplate through the shoulder straps and the...
chainmail.
Oh, chainmail. Sorry. And you are relieved of your upper body armor. And but this
Aaron, if as the armor comes off, he has a rather dirty, grimy kind of linen undershirt with minor padding here and there to alleviate the
chafing.
of scales.
Mhm.
And before he touches his shirt, he takes one quick look at Acheron.
Oh. And they also pull off your shirt.
Like, what kind of look is this?
Yeah.
Can I?
It's
Can I
like
check?
an I'm sorry kind of look.
I think
good.
Acheron looks a little concerned by this, but like with very paying attention now.
All right.
Like
And as
before,
I
Akron was like,
take-
"This isn't my problem. Doesn't involve me." Now Akron's like, "Oh."
Oh. Yeah. And they pull off your slightly padded, grimy white shift.
And his entire torso is riddled with scars and damage and layers upon layers of injury that seem to have been distorting his skin that doesn't really sit over his muscle in a proper way. And I guess at the heart of it is some radiant damage that looks like cancer.
Gotcha.
Whoops. Yeah, that for sure. There are some blisters.
But moreover, just like his body is, the skin is rough and contourous, barely a single smooth part on it.
Behind you, you can hear a very confused soldier go, sir, he has 2 feathers on his back. What is this? It's in the Malachim description. You know?
You fucking liar.
No, I'm not.
This is why we ask.
No, it's fair.
You're not a good liar.
Yeah.
We don't ask, we don't find out.
And Mira kind of waves him away of like devil spawn, things. We have more important things to think about. And he like takes a
sure I
look
can
at
also
his
see.
chest. Yeah, you know, you choose 2 pristine white feathers at 2 points on his
I'll
back.
say, he's not lying.
You're so angry. I love it.
Glaring
I
at
love
Aaron
it.
at that.
I love it. Miron regards your general look.
I'm
But
looking
Can't
surprised.
see anything dangerous. Immediately dangerous. Stop playing games. What is this?
You can see I have nothing on me.
That'd be so mean.
I need to know what this is before we continue all of this. And I need to know where the sword is.
Honestly, I don't know what to say. I haven't seen it. You took it while I was dismounted by one of your number. One of your number before seemed to be quite enthralled with me. I don't know if that has turned his mind, but I haven't seen it since I was knocked unconscious.
No one could have gotten into the stash. So there's some...
I haven't left my room.
I understand your wariness of the powers of devils, but I think you may overestimate this one. I think it was made clear yesterday how he is not a match for all of you, and even if he does have skill in some ways, I can tell you from the time I've spent with him that lying is certainly not one of them. I believe he's
Question.
telling the truth, which makes it even more concerning.
Question for the GM.
Mm-hmm.
When Mir was like, "What's all this and where's the sword?" Was he talking about like Aaron? Like, what's this? Like, what's the deal with Aaron being the way Aaron is?
Mm-hmm.
Was that like the question of the
Yeah.
what's all this? Oh, okay.
He's asking two questions. What is this magical
Alright.
trace that is
Well-
within Aaron, and where is the sword? I need to know.
Okay. Well, then in response to that, it's Akron's turn to give Aaron an apologetic look. And Akron's gonna say, he's Malachim.
What do you mean, Malachim? He's an angel?
Is there another kind?
Don't play semantic. And you can hear Osprey standing there on the stairs, their eyes widening, going, "No way!"
Aaron takes a side glance to Ginevra as Akron says that. And focuses back on the ring.
Yeah, Titania will say, this is why it's important to use the scientific method and observe your subject. Everything about his appearance suggests that he matches Malachim in the radiance of Gaynor.
I don't know if you got eyes,
Osprey.
Titania, but he doesn't have wings. Do you see wings? I don't.
I
saw
see small
wings.
feathered wings.
I saw
Osprey, do you detect
wings.
illusion magic coming from him?
No, it's not illusion. As for sure. It's some kind of strange mixture of transmutation and conjuration.
Transmutation. His form could be altered, but we've been traveling with him for weeks.
But that's true. If there were some kind of I've heard about magic that could disguise how you look. But that could be transmutation, couldn't it be, Titania? If it was like a full-blown change rather than just an illusion that sits on the outside, then it would be the School of Illusion. But the conjuration doesn't make sense.
Do not be part of his.
And you
nature.
hear basically Titania, or at least Osprey, going into this science mode, you know? Need to figure this one out.
If he was being actively placed here by something, because it's a persistent conjuration effect.
In that way? Huh. Yeah, I've heard that.
I do have something, but I never knew it was available to be detected. It's just, let me put it this way, it didn't come off to me as something that was magical. But there is a little something that Ginevra has seen before, of which I can produce, which could be determined conjuration. Maybe, I don't know. We've never really investigated.
Miran kind of catches, or regains his composure, and his dagger hand has kind of fallen down to his side. Wait, I need to know. Rules be damned. Are you some kind of double agent sent here by Brian? Are you some kind of angel herald or something? And you're supposed to be undercover? Or do you truly worship one of the other 6 horror devils? Radiance of Ganon does speak of angels who do worship and fell and became corrupted. Are you? I need to know.
Can I roll an empathy check here to assess his change of emotion?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I told you he was the religious one.
Yeah.
My gamble played off.
Totally right, yeah.
He has the vibes as someone who is Catholic. He has the vibes.
Yeah. Is that a 12?
That is a 12.
This is the most emotion you have seen coming from him, but even so, it's still rather subdued.
Meulen,
It seems
there are
like
things in...
he seems like he wants to. He seems scared that he has done something wrong.
Okay, that's enough. And he says, Aaron looks at Meulen, and eye to eye. Would you permit me to stand?
There's like hesitation. He's still, he's not really sold on this whole thing yet, but he takes a step back and nods. And the soldier behind you also take a step back.
As he takes a step back, the moment he is taking a step back, Aaron's eyes glow slightly brighter, brighter and brighter again, into a more brilliant golden. And as he rises, so do the whispery, wistful, misty wings erupt out of his back.
You liar.
Because Ginevra only saw them for a second, like a flash, before he fell. So she didn't really get to see what they were. It was more just a bit of light behind him. So now she's pretty taken.
They're more like tendrils, I suppose, but can be consumed as they move, as if they're part of the wind. They don't look like birds' wings. They look more like, not like tentacles, but as if you had the actual bone structure of a wing, but without the feathers.
Yeah,
and just glowing with misty and like blurring with fog.
Like Hamoside says in chat, like Diablo angels. If you know.
That's so cool. I'm never drawing.
Oh yeah, like Tyrion.
You say that and you'll be starting tomorrow. You can't help it.
There's like an audible gasp coming from everybody in the room. There's still like all of the workers over here as well. I'm like, oh my god.
They're gonna have a story to tell. They're gonna have so many stories to tell.
They're not gonna be alive after this now. They gotta go.
Wow, I don't know. We have a one on our side.
I think Acheron's "you liar" is gonna be like out loud too, like quietly under like their breath. But there's just a very soft like "you liar."
What do you sense, Osprey? Anything different? No illusion?
Osprey's eyes are like super duper wide, and there's like this huge, crazy smile on their lips. It's not in any way like of a reverence kind of smile. It's more like, oh my god, this is so fascinating. It's a little bit creepy.
But Aaron's gonna continue staring at Meulen as he stands, and takes a brief pause to allow others to take it in. And he says calmly, kind of talking down to him, there are things far greater than a church in this world, Meulen.
You're not giving this man an easy time. I know that. But you have not yet answered me, Celestial. Are you one of the fallen ones? Who chose to give their loyalty to the devils? Or are you loyal to Rion?
I am loyal to the Celestial Conclave.
Forgive my
Rian.
ignorance, but I have no fucking clue what that is.
Rian is part of the Celestial Conclave.
Well, that's a lie.
No, it's true. What are you talking about?
Rian is a part of the Celestial Conclave?
Is he not?
No.
Oh no! Oh no!
Well, not anymore. Not anymore, I suppose. But when Aaron,
He was when.
Oh, as
was
far
there.
as far as
No,
Aaron
no.
knows,
He was the leader of the Golden Pantheon.
Okay, that's my mistake.
No worries.
all this god stuff we don't know.
Yeah.
No. Rian had his own thing.
It's a lot, yo.
I mean, it makes no difference. You could just say that to them, but it's not like we can fact check you. Like, let me just call them real quick. Call their main office, like dial them up.
Conflict Conclave is. I don't know.
I am still going to do. Going to do an empathy composure here at disadvantage, and I want Aaron to do a deception here with presence because of what's going on right now.
Can I give him help with that by saying, I've checked all the facts, I've remembered the verses of the Radiance of Gaenor, it tracks. Can I give him help with that? Advantage? Oh! I mean, first roll.
It's a
it
19.
would not change his, because why did you leave the church then, Talia?
You have no presence? No addition to your presence, really?
I think Aaron has a +0 to both presence and manipulation, right?
Wow. I would have thought he would have some presence. It's like 6.5.
He has
tall
average presence,
dude
guys.
with gold
Don't measure it.
eyes. Buff doesn't have any presence. Come on.
I mean,
I
it's not like I can do a
No.
persuasion with Brawn.
I rolled with disadvantage and I rolled a 17 and an 18.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Bringing us to a total of 22.
It's fucking close. Oh,
No!
oh no!
What do you mean 22?
He has pluses
He has
in
a
comparison to you.
Bastard. So advanced. Oh. Okay.
Poor Den.
I don't have.
No.
I have a 5 and a
Oh,
7.
you can give him to him for his empathy composure.
You can make him.
Yes, can.
You can give it to him.
Definitely, yes, absolutely. I'm
You're
making
gonna
his
give
lowest-
Porta 5?
I'm gonna 7. I'm gonna give it a 7 for a total of 12.
Okay. Fine then, be that way.
Yes.
Poor Den.
I forgot I need to give them to enemies. I was like,
It's the meta pigeon.
yeah.
Sometimes we have to help each other remember our shit, okay?
Yeah. I've
We can't
loved
be
it.
perfect all the time.
Let's bring it
Thank
in.
you.
We did just level up.
I don't understand why all of this then?
What is he gesturing to?
The whole situation.
Because people don't give a chance to understand. Anything that's different may be seen as devilry. I mean, that's how the way it's always been.
I'm sure you can understand better than anyone here in a broken past. I'm not sure exactly myself how I'd come to be here. But I'm not a fool, and I would never betray that which I have served. But time does make children of us all.
He takes another step back and thinks really, really heavily to himself. furrowed brow, sometimes looking up at Osprey, who's still like... He's brought out a notebook and is doing a sketch of Aaron right now. Over then to
No
Silas. Yeah, no consent. Looks over to Silas, who was just lowered his crossbow and just looked like the Pikachu face. Medea has fallen down on her knees and is praying. And then eventually his eyes land on Ginevra, and with some exasperation, he says, I'm not qualified for this.
Oh my god. I think at this point Akron just rolls their eyes. This is so ridiculous from everyone.
True.
And he's like
Aaron's
looking
gonna try and double down
for guidance in Ginevra's at Ginevra, saying, I'm not qualified for this, and looking towards you.
Like kind of look to take in the sight, and you know, look at I consider his words, and I'll look back to Meulen with a convinced expression and say, I believe him.
Make me deception presence. No.
Can I help her real quick with something?
Oh, sure.
Because he was gonna do something at the same time. It's like, Aaron, I'm not here to hurt anyone. But I permit you to cut me.
He looks very confused. Make me deception presence with advantage, Ginevra.
Okay.
Considering the authority that you wield in this situation.
Okay.
You know what? When I planned ahead for this session, I didn't think we would come here, but here we are.
I mean, neither did I, but they were gonna shoot us.
You were just looking for a damn sword.
Oof.
Oof.
Did
No,
I
they
do
were
it
looking
right?
for
Did I
why
write
you
that
swallowed
right?
a rock.
Huh?
Did I write that right? I think so. The command.
Yeah. Keep highest one.
Because that just
Plus
added
5.
them.
No.
Okay.
No.
But either way, it's going to be +5, so it doesn't really matter.
That is true. It's a 14 in total. I rolled a 7.
No, it's completely wrong, but never mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I rolled a D.
You've just added 2
D20.
20s.
I
You've just added 2 D20s together, that's all.
But I also have a +5, so I rolled 2 D20s. I got a 9 and a 5.
Yeah,
And then I added a 5 to the 9.
So the
It's
value is still value
ends
is
up
right.
coming around to a 14.
Yes. But you know, he priestess, what am I supposed to do? I have orders, but this...
I think mortal orders perhaps fall below those from a higher power. If you would speak, and I'll look to Aaron and ask what guidance he might have for us.
Oh my god! How did we get here? How did we get here?
Did we just do the reverse now?
How did we get here? I don't understand.
Careful crafting.
You're
Oh
under
my
arrest.
God.
No, you're under
is Aaron's forte, so let's see. It's a bold move, but let's see how it keeps this up. All right, Aaron. What is your guidance?
Like, so what? Can you just repeat that? Because I got lost in the reverse.
Yeah, so I said if you might speak, do you have some guidance for us in going forward? What we should do?
We are here to discover the entity of some dark origin magic, I suppose, that beyond the mountains. I believe that is in line with what you intended us to do regardless. That I was already on this path. Let us continue on it, for it is already what you want us to do.
Would you wish for us, who have treated you so, to stay after causing such harm or offense?
I forgive them. They may leave if they feel they are unnecessary, and for that is what they are. We don't need them. In fact, more might be drawing too much attention.
Should they spread the word?
And draw attention to us? No.
I guess on this side. No.
I'm sorry.
They'll know
We need a
when.
mini break. I really know. I've been laughing so much. I need to go to the toilet quickly. Oh my god! Can we take a super mini break? I'm
I hope everyone knows that my decision to tell them that Aaron was a Malachim, I rolled a d20 for like a wisdom and I got a 1.
It's so funny because this was an idea I had like
I
ages
was
ago.
not
I was like,
expecting
oh,
this,
try and
damn.
convince them he's an angel, and then I was like, they're never gonna fall for that shit. Throw that one in the bin.
Oh
and that
my
was happened anyway.
I thought that,
This
okay,
is
so
not
I
what
thought
had
they might be
planned. I was
nice.
completely out of step.
I never thought they'd be like,
out of here.
like, I thought they might be nicer, and they might be like, oh shit, like, we're so sorry for being rude. You can, like, totally, like, we'll just not shoot you now. I never expected, I'm not qualified for this. I ain't babysitting an angel.
Mhm.
Like,
I have no words. I cannot contribute to this. This is just.
well, okay, so Akarat's reaction to this is exactly that Justin Timberlake, like, is that who he is? Fuck, the one, I think that's who it is. The one guy who's just, like, deadpan staring at the camera as it zooms out. That's just Akarat's face through all of this.
Oh my god.
You lied to me!
Well, first of all, the wing that was so rude. It's like, well, Akarat A doesn't understand this, and B is like, you guys are so dramatic, what the fuck?
Huh?
Like I said, torture's good for
I
character.
knew there were
Torture's
fucking
clearly-
wings.
Yeah.
Oh,
Torture.
wings.
Oh my god.
There are wings and horns. I will just point out that there are also horns. Not for the mannequin, but for the
Yeah.
They can't seriously leave though. That
Well,
I
we
don't
don't know.
know. That's.
They're
I
getting,
just
they're
got my
getting direct
girlfriend
orders
back.
from
What
an
the fuck,
angel.
Aaron?
He said they can leave if they wish to.
If they wish
which is
to.
pretty good. Because Medea might want to.
I don't know. Bexxy,
glad
we
I
need
got
to
my
end the
message in-
session so you can.
I'm glad I got my
Right.
message. ready.
I'm a little bit. Woo. For anyone who is looking at Osprey, they're not looking happy at all. They have stopped in the middle of their sketch work and is staring a bit frustratedly at Miron. Miriam, on the other hand, is once again put into deep thought. This.
Can I say one final thing?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I don't know everything. I'm trying to figure that out myself, maybe. But I believe that sword is important. I truthfully don't know where it is. But I believe it should be found. Don't you?
He doesn't really know how to take this.
Maybe it's something we can work together on?
If you go looking for the sword, try and track it down. We'll go on our original mission. You know where we're going. You can always find us again, presumably. We'll work together, Mirren. All you have to do is find the sword.
Ginevra's gonna look like, wow, you're so lucky you just got given a divine task. At Mirren, like,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Osprey gonna take a step down and say, pretty close to Aaron. Doesn't really seem to be bothered that much. You know, Miron, remember the mission, Cardinal Blanc? I don't know what's going on over here, but it doesn't necessarily mean it has to clash with what we have to do. I mean, this sword did not disappear from normal means. It must have, like, poofed somewhere. And Titania is still a thing, right? And the
you've seen
Ravenmoors?
Titania's books, you know what she's able to
I was just
do.
about to say, I that is my one and only spellbook.
When
You
you
know
don't
I
have
have.
all the facts, you cannot make a true working hypothesis. So don't even
That is
try,
a fair
Titania.
point.
And as I understand it, Aaron would still go on the mission. We would still continue with what was planned. So I don't see your point. We are talking about finding the sword. Is that not what you are wanting?
Mira
exactly
looks
what
over
we're trying to work out.
to Osprey. And then over back to Aaron. I don't understand truly what's happening here. But I do know that Cardinal LeBlanc is also a herald of Rion. And I have been given a task from him through her to protect and guard Titania.
That is also my task.
Your task is also uncovering something in the Ravenmoor territory. Beyond the mountains, you said.
First and foremost, I am here to protect Titania.
Why?
Technically not a lie.
Says Osprey.
Why is Titania just Jesus? Like,
I
holds the
hate
tide.
I hate this.
Why?
Hmm.
She's like the biggest heretic. This
Maybe
doesn't
your
make any
understanding of
sense.
heresy is wrong. Maybe you should do some more reading.
Oh
She
my
gives
God.
says a very infecting glance over in that direction. Nah, I ain't buying this, Miron.
I
There's
don't think
nothing more
anyone
here.
should. I don't think anyone should do anything that's going to result in punishment. those of us who are familiar with Her Eminence knows what that means more than those of us who aren't. And Akron's clearly looking at just the agents. Like, this is just a message for the agents. No one else is included in that sentiment.
When you swivel your head around to Silas, you can see a nod of, like, gratitude coming from him.
So, a lot of things have just happened for everyone, and don't take this the wrong way, but as the only person here who doesn't really seem to give a fuck, maybe we should take a second, okay? Like, I'm not trying to take over here. This is a lot. I remember the first time that I heard that might be a thing. It took me a hot second, and I don't think making hard and fast decisions now that will result in anyone here, and this time Akron will look at everyone, like, in turn, like, making eye contact. It'll make anyone here come to any harm is the right answer. There are ways we can work together and solve this, and no one has to get hurt. We all want the same things.
Do you have a suggestion of how to go forward?
I am not the smart one here, nor do I have any desire to be a leader. Those of us who are leaders and those of us who make the decisions should sit down and try to work out how to proceed together. We all want the same things. I'm just saying there's a lot of emotion right now, and perhaps sitting down formally with less, can I get off my knees? I'm tired. This floor is really hard. And I think we could all benefit from sitting down together. Does that sound like something we can do?
Miron gives like a bit of a distracted, like, just nod. And then hastily adds, just sit down far away from the door. Yes.
Acheron will give a nod, and I think those who have, like, been traveling with Acheron, and probably Medea, can probably tell that this is very much, Acheron has, like, the shifting looks of, like, concern. Like, this is not like, I'm concerned you'll hurt us, but, like, I'm concerned for you, and has been, like, looking at the agents this way, particularly, as this conversation has gone on, and it's gone past the point where, like, the concern is very clearly for the agents in this situation.
Okay.
But yeah, they very gratefully and slowly nod and get off the hard floor because ow.
Fair.
Titania will, like, stand up as well and, like, squeeze Acheron's hand as they go to sit down.
Okay.
Yeah. Acheron's just dead ass gonna sit on the nearest step just to, like, keep it easy.
Medea looks down on you. So standing there.
Yeah, and then Acheron realizes where that was and just kind of. But yeah. Oh,
all right. Miron just goes over here to, like, lean his hip against this armchair over here, as much as he can manage at this point. So.
Oh.
Is it not better to return to Ainoin so we can properly introduce Aaron to Cardinal LeBlanc? This way, I feel I can finish my mission of keeping an eye on Titania and not entangle myself in the things I have no clue of how to interact with and might clash with the orders that I have been given specifically and passively. And perhaps through the great resources of Cardinal Blanc, Aaron, whatever you want to achieve has a higher chance of success.
Real quick. I think Acheron, like, the look of instant regret as soon as Einor is brought up. Like, Acheron visibly flinches at the mention of going back. Like, it's like an actual body jerk reaction. And then there's just, like, that instant regret look.
I'm not sure that is the wisest course of action, since the item that we're chasing is already in the hands of those who we don't want to hold it. The longer they have it, the worse it will be.
Maybe we first prioritize this mission, going together, supported, rather than them being chains. And once that is complete, we go back together. And I'll send a look to Acheron, just like another trust me look.
Titania will say, I would like to accomplish this mission that we've been tasked with, for my sake as well as the sake of Oldwood as a whole. Let us not forget we might be preventing an all-out war here.
We are on orders from the Queen, after all. Leaving such a thing may cause chatter when discretion may be better in this case. We would not want information to go out that was not properly vetted. And I'll look at Meulen.
And if you need any other theories or possible ideas, you could give us a scout whom you trust to accompany us whilst you go looking for a sword that had been misplaced. At least then, your mission has not ended.
Might I ask why the sword is so important? Do we know?
That's what started this.
That is what
Osprey
started this conversation.
is sending intense daggers towards Meulen. And Meulen looks very conflicted, takes in all what you guys have to say, and then he says, I can escort you and protect you to Cedar Valley to investigate the area. But I cannot take you into Ravenmoor territory with the goal of He pauses, thinking about what he's about to say. But then he steels himself and raises his eyes once more, with the goal of stopping what the Ravenmoors are doing. That goes against my orders. And with that, we're going to end tonight's episode of Asia's Return. Woo!
Okay.
Wow, it's a crazy
Nice.
one.